Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today we ended up seeing some surprise patch notes drop within Warzone in Modern Warfare 3, featuring some new gameplay updates, some bug fixes, and even some weapon updates as well that do directly impact the overall meta. So we are diving right into the notes here. As we do so, if you enjoy the video, be sure to drop a like on it. It's always really appreciated. And if you are new to the channel, you want to guarantee that every single day you are up to date with news, updates, patch notes, meta breakdowns, everything going on in COD. This is the place to be, so feel free to hit that subscribe button. But initially here, starting on the multiplayer and zombies side of things, we've got our Tuesday, July 30th update. Keep in mind, tomorrow though, we do have a separate new update going out. It's more so a content update with our weekly routine changes that'll have other, substantial updates with that and significant content changes. But as for today, with customization, we'll go ahead, zoom in a little bit. They corrected the categorization of the base camos on the STG and the static HV. Basically, they were just putting all the new camos into the poison frog category for whatever reason. So they've gone through and put those in the correct category now. For multiplayer, with UI and UX on bug fixes, battle pass tokens earned via weekly challenge completion are now displayed in the after action report. Pressing learn more in the store no longer return to the previous menu. Placeholder splash is no longer displayed after unlocking the Jack Decimator kit. Corrected an icon display on the Havoc mode, then removed redundant terminology and splashes for hardcore mode names. Nothing too significant there, it seems. For progression, decrease the Interstellar Mastery Challenge completion targets from 500 to 400 operator kills on the STG and the static HV, so that's a tad bit easier there. Then for modes on Slam Deathmatch, this is actually coming up this week. Downs count will no longer always be 0 in the after action report, so interesting that that's already there. Weapons and attachments, so a couple of weapon updates. Keep in mind, this is for multiplayer. We'll also have some Warzone weapon updates too in just a moment, but on the Ram 9, the Bruin Heavy Support Grip Underbarrel attachment is no longer available to use without a compatible barrel. On the handguns, the COR-45 has been restored. They increased the rate of fire from 240 to 450, so an 88% increase there. On the XRK trigger action, they decreased the fire rate penalty, and on the lightning fire trigger, they decreased the fire rate benefit there. So that lightning fire trigger will still not be as fast as it once was, but it's not suddenly the worst gun in the entire game, and it's actually better as a melee anymore. It'll now be a usable pistol, so at least that's nice there. Also on the tier, on the short barrel, an incompatible optic attachment is no longer available to be equipped there. And also for the melees on the push dagger, they added a heavy swing melee functionality, and on the beast glove blueprint added a ragdoll effect for that on the heavy swing. Then in ranked play, they did restrict the new quartermaster suppressor muzzle. Then lastly, in zombies here, just one singular patch note. Fixed an issue causing some players to encounter an instance inventory timeout error. So nice to see that that's now fixed. That is been popping up for a lot of players for a little bit now. So nothing too crazy in terms of length for zombies patch notes, but a pretty important update there nonetheless. Now that said, let's jump over to the Warzone patch notes. So on the Warzone side of things, we again have our Tuesday, July 30th update. Again, for customization, they corrected the categorization of the base camos on the STG and the static HV. Then we get right into a handful of these weapon updates, and actually we get some pretty interesting ones. So again, on the Ram 9, same deal as over on multiplayer here. The Bruin Heavy Support Underbarrel can't be used unless you're using a specific barrel. Not a huge deal. You wouldn't be using that on a Ram to begin with. A big one here though on the SUPERI 46, the max damage range, so its best damage range, was decreased by about a meter. That's not super significant. You're going to be able to extend that out using a high grain or whatever barrel or muzzle combination you might want to use anyways. That's not a super huge nerf. What is big though is that they actually removed the entirety of the mid damage range. That medium damage range, that second, third damage range, whatever the case is, completely gone now. It goes to minimum damage, so its worst damage range, at 25 meters instead of 34 meters. So a 9-meter nerf there essentially, which is actually pretty big. So really what this is going to impact is the SUPERI's ability to be an assault rifle and an SMG. Previously, yes, it was already a great SMG, and it still is a great SMG. Its TTK will be a tad bit worse now with that decrease to the damage range. Obviously, there will be some other weapons that have better ranges than it, but with its movement and its finesse capabilities, it's still a good close to mid-range option. Now, though, there were previous builds that were like crazy overpowered rifle builds where the SUPERI had a better TTK at like 40 meters than several rifles and LMGs, which isn't super great for like meta diversity, right? So that's definitely going to impact that. As for the SMG meta, I don't think that changes that all that much, but it's still a very interesting nerf to the Superi. It does, to me at least, also help out the static HV a little bit more. That already had great range, and now it's just a tad bit better than the Superi as well. So it was already really good and you know, beneficial to run that for like a mid-range SMG build as is. It now does have a bit more of a monopoly in that area, but a slight nerf to the Superi's range and definitely a significant nerf to its overall damage range, and that will impact its ability to be a good sniper support choice and whatnot there. Hey folks, wanted to take a quick second and talk about gamer advantage. If you've been around the channel for some time now, you know about GA. You guys know in every single video, I am rocking these. And even when I'm not recording, I'm just sitting here gaming, I'm watching TV, whatever the case is, I got these things on because truly they are game changers. If you're trying to sleep better at night, reduce eye strain or your headaches, you gotta get yourself a pair. They offer prescription or regular lenses, so something for everyone. They've got you covered there. A bunch of different colorways and frame options so they can rock with your style there too. If you're interested at all in picking up anything from the Gamer Advantage site, be sure to toss in code WhosImmortal at checkout, and that'll get you a nice little discount. The link for that's going to be down below in the description if you're interested. They also made some updates to some pistols here. Again, with the rate of fire on the COR-45, they increased the base rate of fire, decreased the fire rate penalty on the trigger action, and then also decreased the fire rate benefit on the lightning fire trigger. But when you have a COR-45 starter pistol now, at least you can fight. It's not who's going to get the fastest melees off or who's going to be the first one to get a chest and pull out any possible gun. You actually are going to be able to use your pistol to kill players again, and they won't have the same fire rate as like a Cat AMR, for instance. So nice that that was actually fixed relatively quickly there. And then again on the tier, on the short barrel, incompatible optic attachments are no longer able to be equipped there. They also made an update on the push dagger as well with the heavy swing functionality, and same deal on the beast glove blueprint. Then for some bug fixes here. Fix an issue preventing players from seeing the scoreboard or stats tab when opening the TAC map that was bugged and you couldn't actually view like your damage and your kills and all your squad stats as well. Fix an issue preventing the third Warzone rewards mobility challenge, which is visit 5 unique POIs in a single match from tracking properly. Personally, I've been stuck on this as like my last challenge I need to unlock in order to progress, so nice that they've gone through and fixed that. Fix an issue preventing the Warzone rewards sub menu from updating properly after a player completes the Resurgence Champions quest challenges. Then they also fix an issue preventing players from activating the armory unlocks for tactical and lethal equipment. And that being said, those are all the new updates with today's patch notes. Definitely the most noticeable ones here come in the form of the weapon updates for the Superi. By far the most substantial update here. Still one that's not, like I said, going to have a super, you know, noticeable impact on the close range meta at least, but for the sniper support for the rifle build there could be a drastic change there once we see the full-on stat breakdown of that with all of the like data mine stuff to make sure everything here mentioned was actually changed. Unfortunately, no significant changes or mentions to any of the server issues going on or any of the stuttering, the packet loss, and other stuff there. Hopefully, you know, in the coming days, we do get more information on that. Like I said at the start of the video, we do have another official routine weekly update coming tomorrow with a bunch of new content updates. So stay tuned for that alongside everything else going on in COD by, of course, hitting that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like on your way out as well. It is always really appreciated. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.